Welcome to the You Can Feel Better podcast with Tyler and Hannah Waddle. We firmly believe that anyone can lose weight, feel better, and do more living. But unfortunately, there is so much confusing information out there about diets and weight loss that a health journey can often be very overwhelming. That's why we created this podcast to share health tips, tricks, and facts to help simplify, explain, and dive into a variety of health and wellness information. Welcome to Motivational Mondays, where we focus on finding, creating, and sustaining your motivation in your health journey. Hannah Waddle here today, and we're going to be focusing on dreaming big. I feel like a big part in staying motivated in your health journey is to dream big. Allow your mind to think of the possibilities and think of them as really actual possibilities. Because when you really don't think change can happen, you're not going to be willing to do the work to get the change. So I encourage you to take some time today and just think of what you wish your health journey could look like. Where would you like to be in 1, 2, 3 years, 5 years? And just dream big. This is not a time to think of the little bitty details, the steps, the goals. That's different. Right now it's just dreaming big, because if you really don't believe you can get there, you're not going to last in a health journey. And you might as well just stop now. If you're not willing to really believe that you can get there, because what's going to happen is it's going to get hard and you're going to say, oh, well, it just doesn't work. And then you're going to give up. So I really encourage you to take some time, allow yourself to dream. Don't let a limiting mindset get in your way. Thoughts like, oh, it must be nice, it's so easy for that person. Or, well, maybe in another life, or if I had different genes, or if I had this, or gosh, I wish this. Don't let that limiting mindset be involved in your dreaming big. You want to have a mindset that realizes that life isn't fair, and it realizes that different people have more hardships in certain areas, and certain people's bodies do not put on weight as much as other people's. Certain people's bodies feel better than others people's. We don't all start in the same playing field, and that's frustrating, especially if you are someone who deals with lots of inflammation and pain, and weight loss is hard. That is frustrating. But I want you to just forget all that and really dream big. I've been really guilty of this in the past, of looking at someone and being like, well, that must be nice. Especially like when I was a teacher and I would get like barely 30 minutes to eat, barely, if that would be generous. And I remember thinking about other people's jobs and being like, well, that must be nice to actually get a whole hour to eat. But then it actually came back on me. It's like, well, if I chose to be a teacher, I chose that 30 minutes. So I either need to be a teacher with a 30 minutes or less time to eat, which that is a whole different conversation that I feel like teachers should have more time to eat, but that's a sidetrack. But if I chose that job knowing that was part of the job, then I need to either be okay with it and be content, or find an exit plan and do something else. And I chose the second because, that wasn't the only reason, but there were several things where I would look at other people's lives and be like, oh, that must be nice, or oh, I wish I didn't have to deal with this. Well, it's time to create a plan to make changes. So for my situation, it meant creating an exit plan for teaching and creating a lifestyle that had more time to work out, that had more time to do things I loved, to get the appropriate amounts of sleep, to stress less. That's a big one, to reduce stress. I had to make some big changes so I could do that, so I could be a healthier version of myself. And sometimes it's big changes you have to make, sometimes it's little changes. But you want to let go of the limited mindset that says, oh, someone else has great things and that just must be nice. I wish I could have that. It's great to look at what other people have and use that as inspiration. Maybe it can give you ideas of, oh, I could do this and work towards this, goals to work towards. That's great. But when it leads you to frustration and feeling down and comparing, comparitis is so dangerous, then it is not good. I really want to encourage you to really think about the things that you think you see in other people's lives and you think, oh, that must be nice. And really think about why you think that. Why do you think that must be nice? And if you really want that for your life. And if you do want that for your life, how can you take steps to get there? But if you're not willing to take those steps, then you need to accept with contentment that that is not your life. Now, wishing and dreaming big does nothing if you're not willing to work towards those goals. So once you take time to really dream big and let your mind go and think about, oh, What would be the perfect health I wish I could have? What would be the perfect lifestyle I wish I could have? Once you take time to do that, then I want you to take some time and think about what you're willing to do to work towards those goals. And if you're not willing to try new things, and if you're not willing to pour into learning and hard work, then maybe you need to accept that you're not going to reach those dreams. But if you're willing to really work hard, you know, they say if you shoot for the moon, at least if you miss, you'll end up in the stars. I think that can really be sometimes what we need to do in a health journey. Now, sometimes though, in a health journey, you start kind of dreaming big and you think like, this is as good as I could get. And then you get into it and you blow your mind and you go way above what you ever thought possible, which is pretty cool to see when that happens. But this idea of dreaming big is really important, because if you don't take time to really believe that you could get some places that you have never been before, then you're probably not going to get there. Now, I do want to just have a moment of tough love, true love, because I really do care about you. And I do firmly believe that anyone can lose weight and feel better. But if you do not really believe that you can make changes and feel better and lose weight, then you are not going to be successful in your health journey. It's just how 99% of the time, how it works. If you think that it works for everyone but you, and you're just never going to make progress, then you're not going to make progress. And that's why it's so important to dream big and to just allow yourself to think about the possibilities, what could happen, and allow yourself to start being positive and stop being limited to, it's always been like this, it'll just have to stay like that. So let yourself really truly believe that you can make some changes. And you know what? It's okay if you don't have 100% belief that you can really create change and reach your health goals. That's okay, because you can borrow belief when you're just getting started from me, because I firmly believe you can do it, or from your best friend or your family or anyone who's in your corner encouraging you on your health journey. You can borrow the belief from them, because as you start taking steps, you're going to start proving to yourself you can do it, and then you're going to believe that you really can do it. Once you believe you can change your health, the game is won from there. I firmly believe that once you truly believe that you can make a change in your lifestyle, you can feel better, you can lose weight, you can manage the symptoms to whatever extent is possible with your condition. From that point, once you firmly believe it, you are going to see results and progress towards your goals, because you've decided it's going to work, and you're going to keep trying until you find what really works. You know, the mindset that this is just how everything is, so it's just always going to be like that, that can be really dangerous. That can be something that cripples you and really doesn't allow you to meet your full potential. Let's just take this story for example. Let's say every morning you're stressed and you're running late and you get the kids dropped off at school and you're rushing, trying to spill your coffee, trying to get their lunches packed, and then you rush into your office stressed, frustrated, and late almost every morning. Now, you could say, oh, I just have kids and I'm just in a busy life right now, and that's just how it's going to be. You could say that, but then you're stressed and you're at work, and now your boss is probably not that happy to you. And as you're stressed and you're running late, probably didn't eat the best breakfast, then your blood pressure is going up, your cortisol is pumping because you're stressed, and then that pumping cortisol is going to lead to sugar cravings. So now you're going to want to eat food that's not the best for you, and you're going to cycle it around, and then you get off work and you're exhausted because you were stressed all day trying to fight these cravings. Your cortisol was out of control and your blood pressure was out of control, and you're stressed and now you're frustrated. And that leads to probably not wanting to eat the most healthy food because you feel like you haven't had a good day anyway. If you're anything like me, when you have a bad day, you really don't lean towards eating healthy food because the junk food sounds nice when you're not having a good day. You can accept that as that's just how life is. But if you do, nothing is going to change. Instead of accepting that, you can try to start taking little steps to create change. Now, when you have kids and they need to get to school and they got sports and you need to get to work and everything's crazy, you might not be able to walk on a cloud of leisure and walk into the office early. Stuff like that might not be possible. But there are things you can do to make it less stressful, to help you stay on track with your eating healthy, and to help give you time to work out. You could possibly wake up earlier. If you are always out of time in the morning, setting your alarm clock 10 minutes earlier could really save you a lot of stress. Maybe set the kids' clothes out the night before. Pack the lunches the night before. Have breakfasts ready to go and grab so you don't have to do it all in the morning. Maybe create a morning routine, do a boot camp with your family and tell them we are no longer going to be stressed and make them practice it. Take 2 hours on a Saturday and practice the morning routine so everyone knows the expectations. And maybe you could make it fun. Set a challenge that if you're all out the door by a certain time, then on Friday y'all get such reward or something. I don't like to encourage always doing food rewards, but that is quite effective with kids. A little something, not a crazy something, but maybe like a little, everyone gets a little piece of chocolate or something like that. Or even better, frozen cherries, something like that. But if you accept that your life is crazy and you just can't be healthy right now, then you're not going to try to make changes. But if you say, you know what, I don't like this. I don't like, for this story, I don't like that my mornings are always rushed and I feel stressed and my cortisol's out of control and I crave sugar. I don't like that. Well, you can take steps to try to reduce that. Maybe you can't eliminate all your stress, but you can reduce it. And when you start taking steps and reducing it a little, you're going to be more motivated to take some more steps. And then you're going to be motivated to take some more steps to maybe now that your stress is under control, now you have energy to go work out in the afternoon. So it's little bitty steps. The same mindset of you can either accept it or do something to change it goes with aches and pains that you have. Or maybe symptoms of chronic illness. While you may not be able to completely heal a chronic illness, you can do a lot with your eating and your exercise and your stretching to manage and help control to an extent the symptoms you experience. Maybe tiredness. If you are chronically tired, there is so much you can do with your eating and your exercise to help with that. Or poor sleep. If you are not getting good sleep, there's so much you can do to help with that. And all these things you may not be able to fix completely with nutrition and working out, but just think, if you've been struggling being chronically tired, and if you could have 50% more energy, how would that change your life? How would it change your family's life? Because you can be there for them more. And it's important to realize that tiny changes will add up. So when you're thinking about a healthy lifestyle and doing things to better yourself, we're not talking about you need to change everything you eat. You need to wake up 2 hours early and work out. You need to make sure you don't ever sit down and relax. It's nothing like that. Actually, relaxing is very important. But it's taking small steps to get closer and closer to those health goals that you have. And one more thing before we leave is another moment of true love. I'm going to give you some tough love that this might not be what you want to hear. 99% of the time when people say they have tried everything, it's just a cop-out. They don't want to really try. I know there's 1% of people who say they've tried everything, and I'm sure they really have tried everything. But 99% of the time, unless you have researched for a whole year, at least 10 hours a week, and applied what you have been learning and tried things like that intensely, I really don't think you can say you have tried everything. I feel like that is 99% of the time used as a cop-out. So I'm going to encourage you, if you have ever said I've tried everything, to take that out of your vocabulary and to look with fresh eyes at how you can make little bitty changes, one habit at a time. We're not talking big, we're talking one habit at a time, and start working towards your goals. So I leave you with this. Dream big, stay positive. Your attitude really is everything, and your attitude can change your mindset, and that's going to change the results you get. So if you want to find, create, and sustain that motivation, that starts with your mindset. Dream big, stay positive, and you have a great day pursuing the healthiest version of yourself you can.
We firmly believe that anyone can lose weight, feel better, and do more living. But unfortunately, there is so much confusing information out there about diets and weight loss that a health journey can often be very overwhelming. That's why we created this podcast to share health tips, tricks, and facts to help simplify, explain, and dive into a variety of health and wellness information.